That's a good clap.
It is a good clap.
You see that clap?
That is a good clap, man. I like the echo. It's very good.
All
It's
right.
very good. That's professional.
That's a professional clap.
Professional.
I've been working
grade.
on this for a while.
They would sell that at Home Depot if they could.
The clap?
They would. They would.
You
want
think?
a professional clap? Come to Home Depot. That would be it. That would be it.
I appreciate it. Not Lowe's.
Not Lowe's. No.
No, that's an upper scale. Clap isn't for the upper
No.
tier of people.
No. Clap is for pretty basic. Claps are for basic people.
For very dull people.
It's for people who have no rhythm whatsoever. Right?
The clap.
The clap is for people who are afraid to get on the dance floor, right?
That's
They feel
true.
like they can participate in the dancing by clapping. That's what the clap, I think, was invented for. There was a guy way back in medieval times who like, come on, come into the court, come dance with us. And they were like, nah, I'm just going to clap. And they were like, what's this? Why is this guy banging his hands together? And then people liked it.
The people
They
realized
liked
they
it.
didn't have rhythm.
Yeah.
And they're like, I could back out of
Yeah,
this.
exactly. Every guy should encourage clapping, right? Because any woman who's like, come dance with me, none of us want to do it. There's very few.
Very few.
Very few. If you're in the closet, yes, you'll get out there. But if you're not in the closet, this is the last fucking thing you want to do. Because based on the way you dance, they're judging how you're going to be in bed.
100%.
100%. And I just rather clap and keep them guessing.
It's a mystery. I keep you on your
Yeah.
toes. You want
Yeah.
to see? Bring me in.
Absolutely.
You want to see? Bring me in.
Absolutely. So I encourage the clapping. That was a good clap.
That
That was
was
a good clap.
Thank you. Proud. But first, and this is Mehul Patel, may we say.
This is Mehul Patel.
Right here.
I confirm that.
Now, what we're doing is, why you're on the show is because of the Native Society. Is that what it's called?
That's actually what it's called. It is called the Native Society. I don't know what the genesis of that name is.
Because it makes no sense for the context of why the site was built.
None.
No.
None.
And it's a comedy community website?
Yeah, it's almost like the Yellow Pages of comedy. It's sort of like a collection of profiles of different comics, kind of a
Right.
little bit about their genre, their
Yep.
backgrounds, but I don't know why it's called Native Society.
Right. No one on it's native.
Nobody
And
is.
it's barely a society.
There's no society in comedy.
There's no infrastructure.
None.
No,
It's
the
a
whole
free-for-all.
reason people are in comedy is because they didn't fit into society.
Exactly.
So they're forming a
Exactly.
society made out of these misfits.
Yes, the people that could not fit in the society, come here. We will adopt you.
And then you were asked to find a guest or a partner,
Yep.
and to ask 6 questions, if I'm
Yes,
correct.
Correct.
And you sent me a link
Yep.
to the website for some examples, and we were talking about this before I hit record. Did I hit record? I did hit record. And they're really bad questions people were asking.
Some of them are just their lunacy. I don't know. I think when people are told interview somebody, they just change. They suddenly drop who they are,
Yes.
and they go into interview mode, and they're just like, okay, if I invented LinkedIn, what would I do? And they're almost like job interview questions, and
Yeah.
and I don't. We're comics, so we don't have to go to work.
That's the whole point of this
Yes.
is to be fun and to talk about interesting things.
Exactly.
I saw one about a certain guy we've talked about before I hit record here.
Mm-hmm.
A certain CB, I'll say the initials. And I was reading his, and they asked him what his favorite cereal is and how his taste in cereal has changed
Yeah, well,
as he's aged.
I was like, well, the way it should change is you stop eating fucking cereal. That's how your taste in cereal should change, everybody. At about age, I don't know, 19, you should stop eating cereal.
You should be phasing out of cereal.
You should. You should. Like, I'm old. I'm almost getting close to the oatmeal, strictly oatmeal
Yes.
in the morning. But these are things that you should be cognizant of, that at a certain point, you have to abandon cereal.
And also, if you're writing the questions and the first question you wrote down is, what's your favorite cereal? What type of life have you lived? Where that's the first thing you want to know about someone.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Right.
Like, I there's never been an instance where I thought, I wonder what cereal this person eats.
No.
Like, and it wouldn't even. It's one of those questions where the answer has no impact. If you like Frosted Flakes versus Fruity Pebbles or Wheaties, I don't care.
You're still poor.
Yes.
You're still a poor person.
You're still bizarre. Well, just eat some eggs.
Right.
There's bacon is available. This is a developed country. We sell all types of breakfast products, and in fact, you don't even know how to have to cook. I don't know how to cook. I can't make bacon.
That's fine.
You can order it.
Right. That's how well you're doing, though.
You know, you can order breakfast. It's totally doable, and there's ranges of breakfasts that you can have. So, I don't understand how that could be an inquisitive question of anybody.
Right. I don't want to hear about your cereal. I want to hear, have you experienced trauma?
Yeah.
When did your mother first try to stab you?
Are you certain you don't have a mental illness?
Well, you can't ask that in comedy.
You can't. I think you should. I think that should be asked immediately of any comic.
People want to defund the police to get social workers into these areas. No, we put the social workers in open mics. That's where we start.
That's where they get their therapy.
Right. That's exactly where
their therapy is. Just go to an open mic if you are a social worker. I think it would replace any sort of workers' comp. You know,
right. And you're not getting paid at your job. Why not do this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why not do this?
Absolutely. I agree with that.
And then we send each other questions. And do you have questions on you? Do you have your phone on you?
I have your questions.
I have my questions here. And then do you have your questions?
So
you printed it.
Well, see, I'm close to eating oatmeal.
Yeah, you're old.
So I have to print things.
You own a printer?
I own a printer. Look at this. I printed this.
You printed it out?
But like, I can.
Do you still use MapQuest?
I can barely read it though, because my eyes are so bad.
Are you farsighted or nearsighted?
Well, so this is what's happened to me recently.
Jesus.
Yeah. So I went and got I was like, clearly I need new contact lenses.
Okay.
I couldn't see.
Okay.
I was like, I shouldn't be allowed to drive. I can't see. And so I was like, let me just do the right thing as a citizen and get my eyes checked. I went to LensCrafter. I go, and I'm not kidding. I went back 4 times because I was like, these contacts are not working. And they're like, what's the problem? I was like, well, I have now X-Men far distance sight, but I can't read anything within 8 inches of my face. And so,
which is a problem.
Which is a huge problem because I can't read my damn phone. And so I went back and they kept lowering the prescription. And they were like, well, you're giving up your farsightedness so you can read. And I was like, well, I can't be illiterate. See, like
that's not how also eye vision works.
It doesn't. And these people were just clearly frustrated with me. They're just like, you don't even know how to take an eye test.
Pick one. You could see close or see far.
Yeah, I was like, but this can't be my options. I was like, there has to be an option where I can do both. And they're like, no, there isn't. What we're going to do is just lower your prescription and sacrifice your distance so you can read up close. But yet I still can barely read up close, and it's been an ongoing problem. And I think it's because I'm going to start eating oatmeal pretty soon for breakfast.
And let's say not because of the printer.
No.
HP still doing a good job. Still good product.
So I have to do stuff like this.
Do you want me to hold it further from you if you need me to?
This is what I have to do now. I've become old.
I hate to see it because 8 months ago when we saw each other frequently, you were young.
I was young.
I didn't even know you had contacts.
I crossed the line. I'm now.
It's been a long 8 months.
It's COVID made me old. I was trying to do the right thing and get an eye check, and now I'm pissed.
And now you bought a printer.
I bought a printer and I can't read anything.
Okay, so we have 6 questions here each for each other.
All right. I dig it.
I'll go first to give people a little background context on you.
Okay.
Okay, so you grew up, Mehul Patel grew up in Southie Boston. Do I have this correct?
Yeah, so originally my parents thought it was a good idea to rent a house in South Boston.
Rent a house?
Rent a house.
You did not buy a house?
No, so what happened was my parents did buy a house.
Okay.
It was not done. It was like in a nice suburb of Boston.
Right.
But it wasn't done. And so my dad was like, oh, you know what would be good is if we lived in Boston. but the neighborhood we're going to pick is South Boston.
Right.
And this should be interesting for my children because it's 1980 and they're brown, and we're just going to send them to school with absolutely no guidance at all. And we'll see what happens. And this will be entertainment for me and my wife.
Because you're going to stick out in Boston no matter where you go, Back Bay to Southie.
No matter what.
Right.
No matter
Southie,
what.
though.
I could have gone to school with the Kennedys. Wouldn't have mattered. I
No.
would have stuck out. And instead, I went to school with a bunch of psychotics literally in South Boston.
And now are your parents immigrants? Are you first generation?
So my parents are immigrants. So my dad came to New York in, I believe, 1971. He took a flight over here. He lied to his dad.
Flight?
Yeah. He
Pretty
flew
good.
over here, but he did lie to his dad. He said that he had job prospects, which he had none.
Okay.
And so he landed, and I don't know what he was more fearful of, his father or being homeless. I don't know which one.
Oh, father.
But
Indian kid, father.
I seem to believe that it was his father. So he lied to him. He's like, I got job prospects. I'll have a job in 2 weeks. So he came here knowing if I don't have a job in 2 weeks, I'm screwed.
That's what it is.
And so he walks down Atlantic Avenue and finds an Orthodox Jewish group of guys who are engineers, and he's like, I need a job. And they're like, we have nothing for you. Who told you we had a job? He's like, I saw an ad in the paper. They're like, we have no idea what you're talking about. And he's like, well, I need a job. And they're like, we don't have one. But
It's a problem.
at that point,
That's a problem.
Yeah. And I'm sure at that point he told them, well, my father will kill me. So what do I do? They're like, well, I know some Yosef type guy in Boston. You should call him.
A Hasidic Jew in Boston?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's like, call him. He'll give you a job. And he called him, and the guy's like, can you get up here tomorrow? And he just said yes, not knowing the distance.
There you go.
Took a bus, goes up there. The guy gave him a job, and he's like, all right. And then I guess he got his first, my dad's first apartment was above a pizza place, ate pizza every day.
Yeah, that's fucking America.
Yeah, he loved it. He thought it was great. He thought root beer was real beer.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not.
It's
That's
not.
the problem.
He thought he was like, he thought he had a huge tolerance because he could drink a lot of root beer. And the truth is, my father has no tolerance.
Oh, they don't drink in India, right?
Yeah. I mean, so my parents actually, to this day, the state that they grew up in is a dry state.
Really?
You can only get alcohol in hotels. That's
Interesting.
it. I assume that's for the prostitutes. But
You would imagine.
that's it. So that was the beginning of, I guess, our family story. And so, drunk off of root beer, he decided to rent an apartment in South Boston. And so then my mom came with my two sisters, and then I was born here.
Okay.
And then they stayed there for several years, and then they were like back and forth between Pawtucket, Rhode Island, and Boston.
Oh, so
and
real trash. Just real
I
trash.
mean, Pawtucket, Rhode Island, I have to tell you, absolute trash. I mean,
Yeah.
absolute trash.
When it's the step up from Southie, which isn't good.
Yeah.
You don't want to be the step up
Yeah.
from Southie. There's a minor league baseball team there.
Oh, yeah. The Pawtucket Red Sox.
Yeah.
Pawtucket Red Sox, it looks like a high school stadium.
Any town with a minor league baseball team isn't doing well financially.
Yeah. Horribly. And when you go to the games, which I did as a child, it's insane. You realize that alcoholism is real.
Minor league baseball that starts alcoholism for some people.
I mean,
Dollar beer
yeah.
night.
That's where it does start.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane. In the 1980s, going to a minor league baseball game, I mean, I'm just like, you should just take your child to pornography.
Just take them to a prison.
Yeah.
There's better athletes in a
Absolutely.
prison.
I mean, it's nuts. Minor league baseball back then was I can't even describe what you would see in the stands. I mean, you'd see assaults.
Of course. Well, this is Boston at anywhere, though.
This is true.
This isn't limited to just minor league baseball stadiums.
This is true. This is true. The first time I had a sleepover, I went to a friend's place.
Okay.
And I remember I was in the basement with my friend. His brother comes down. He's like, "What do you guys want to do?" And I was like, I don't know. He's like, "You guys want to fight?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Yeah, you want to just fight?" And I was like, I still don't know what you mean. Like, fight enemies? Like, who are we fighting?
And what was the last name of these people?
Oh, well, Sullivan, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. You cannot grow up in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and not have a friend named Sully.
It's required.
Yeah, if you don't,
You can't get your driver's license, I don't think.
Probably. I don't even think you can vote without
No.
that. I think that's the actual identification you have to give. Like, what Sully do you know? Oh, okay. Bobby Sully? Oh, yeah. We know
Fucking
him.
Bobby?
Yeah, if you know Bobby, then you obviously live here. And yeah, you're registered. Fuck it. We haven't found your name on the register, but you're registered if you know Bobby Sully.
Right.
And yeah, so I got beat up, and it was a good time.
It was a good time.
Yeah, that was considered a good time.
Let's be honest, growing up in Southie Boston, getting beat up, still better than India.
Definitely better than India.
Let's just put that out there.
100% is better than India. My first visit to India confirmed that. I was like, I want to go home.
I've never met any Indian American that's gone to India, come back, and been like, no, it was good. Like, I had a good time.
It's never good.
It's never good.
It's horrible. And so people that go there and come back and they're like, hey, India was amazing. I'm just like, well, I can't know you anymore.
Right.
I was like, you're a fool. I was like, first of all, give me all your money because you're stupid, and you'll probably do it. But if you found that to be enjoyable, I just can't know you. I can't trust you. I simply cannot trust you. I cannot trust you.
Sorry.
Because it's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's complete chaos.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yep.
24/7. And when they tell you there's 1.5 billion people there, it feels like it.
They might undercount.
Yeah, they don't know the real amount of people. They have no idea.
No, they went to one flea market, counted the heads, and said, I think it's 1.5 billion.
They have enough resources for the amount of people who live in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. That's it. They do not have the resources for 1.5 million people. They don't have it. They don't have it. They have livestock as part of traffic patterns. Okay?
It's planned.
It's normal.
Right.
It's normal. People bitch about the MTA here. Their MTA people are on top of the train. They're on top of the train, and that's considered a good seat.
When James Bond jumped on top of a train, you were like,
yeah.
This is every day.
That's Tuesday rush hour.
Right.
What, you're not
Did you want to be late to work?
Yeah. I mean, come on. That's not that tough. That's not that hard. It's insanity there. It's insanity. It's insanity. And then you come back and you're like, okay, my parents are still abusive, but I'll take it. I'll take it. I will take it. Because it's nuts there. I always am like baffled by people who find some deep level of spirituality there. I was like, yeah, I didn't experience.
It's because they spent 2 weeks there, and they were like, and I'm out.
I mean, I did cry when I got home. I was so happy. So I guess if that counts for something, maybe. But that's about it. That's about it. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't understand it. I'm completely confused by it.
I'm not going.
Don't go. Why would you go? Don't do it. Don't do it.
I have no reason.
You have none. I wouldn't be able to know you any longer. Well, I could know you if you came back and said that was a horrible experience.
Nah, I'll just order in.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to go.
I don't need to go.
You don't need to. Don't do that to yourself.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
This is the closest I'm getting.
And this is close enough.
Yeah.
This is close enough. I don't want to go.
Fair. Let's do 1 for 1.
Okay.
We'll do 1 for 1 here.
All right, so let's see. I know that Rich has spent close to a lifetime in Long Island. Is that true?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. So at what age do you have to leave Long Island before it becomes inescapable?
It's never escapable.
It's
You will always return back.
So you know that you're going back,
I know I'm going back. I don't know when, but
you
I
will-
know it's going to happen.
you will return.
I'll return. And you could want to return to Long Island or not.
But you will return.
It is a calling. You must return to one whence you arrived or came.
So you're ET, is what you're saying.
Right.
You're going back.
This is essentially, when you're from Long Island, you're just a missionary for the rest of the world. That's what you're born into. No matter where you go, people know where you're from, and you're spreading the word.
Are you trying
Of
to
Long Island.
convert people, or are you more John the Baptist?
I'm more John the Baptist.
You're more John the Baptist.
But here's the thing: like, if we go to Boston, and you're like, "This is the best pizza place in Boston." If I go to the place your father ate pizza, I would go, "This place fucking sucks." You know what the best place is? Mario's in Seaford. Fuck you. That's the best fucking place. All right. It's very casual. I'm not trying to sell you anything. But I'm letting you know the bagels in this place fucking suck, and no one here knows how to drive. That's what I'm telling you.
So nobody on Long Island knows how to drive. Is that what you're saying?
Other places.
Other places.
Other
Okay.
places.
Other place. So then that would mean everybody on Long Island knows how to drive.
No. That's about Long Island. None. It doesn't matter. I'm still going to make it sound like it's the best place on earth.
Got it. Okay. So So everybody that has left has to return. Now, when those people return, is it a welcome to return, or do you have to sort of earn your spot back?
Well, this is because you could really, a traditional Long Islander could die in 3 ways. A traditional Long Islander.
Three ways
at 3 different points of your life.
Okay.
So the first stage for a traditional Long Island death is a high school opioid overdose.
Okay.
That is one way you could die as a Long Islander.
Got it. That's
All right.
early.
That's early. That's the earliest step. The second type of death, okay, that's driving drunk on the LIE.
Okay.
That's the second type of death, and that's about late 30s, early 40s.
Okay.
You could do that. And then the last step is at an outdoor barbecue where someone's talking about the Democrats. That's the 3 ways you could die on Long Island.
Got it.
And it's on Long Island you die. I won't die in the city. I won't die in Colorado. I won't die in India when I visit.
It will be on your return.
It will be upon my return.
Okay.
And I just hope I'm not on the LIE late at night.
So what do you think right now, the people that you grew up with that are still on Long Island,
Yes.
what do they say Rich Happel is doing right now?
Rich Happel is a big shot in the city right now. But this is complicated, Mehul,
Okay.
because I'm from a good part of Long Island, from
Got
a
it.
very wealthy part.
Got it.
I didn't grow up wealthy, but
The zip code is
100% Syosset, New York.
Yeah.
Syosset,
Absolutely.
very well-to-do town.
Absolutely.
So they are like, oh yeah, Rich Happel, he's doing fucking comedy in the city.
Okay.
But my friends I went to college with, who are trash people, who one person is a part-time mascot for the New York Islanders, they're like, Rich is fucking living in the city. He's doing fucking well.
Okay, he's living it up.
The North Shore and the South Shore,
Got it.
very different in terms of what success is.
Got it. So it would depend on their sort of which shore they're from.
It's very dependent on what shore they're from,
Got it.
which I believe is the same with Boston.
Oh, absolutely. I think so. I have my friends that we eventually moved to a suburb, and I spent pretty much the predominant amount of my childhood there. But then I still had my friends from initially,
And they've come to a few of our shows, and they are trash.
Absolutely.
They are firemen to the bone.
Oh, they're just. I mean, they will tell me how much they hate me immediately, but the crazy thing is, no one else is allowed to hate me. Only they are.
Only they are.
Only they are able to tell me, you think you're better than us, you're a fucking prick, you left, you live in New York, you're a dick. But
And nothing racial.
nothing
That's
ever.
very progressive.
Never ever
for Southie.
never racial, just you think you're better than us. is basically the stance they take.
And you're like, I don't think.
Yeah, I
have
feel
several
that
degrees.
way. I feel that way.
I have an
pretty
apartment.
deeply. I don't live with my mother anymore, or my grandmother, yeah, or my grandfather, or their bastard children. I don't live with them, so I do feel like, yes, I have surpassed you. So they hate that about me, but no one else can say that about me.
Okay.
No one else. Any random person that says something about me will lose their teeth. That's just their.
But also, everyone you know is like you, who's doing well.
What do you mean?
Like everyone else, who's gonna make fun of you for not being successful, besides the people you grew up with.
Yeah, no.
Then you left and you were with aristocrats.
Yeah, the peers or quote unquote peers. Yeah, they don't give a shit.
Yeah, so who's
right?
making fun of you? They're the only people. You're saying they're the only people that can make fun of me. Like it's like they're the ones allowed. No, they're the only ones that can.
They will. I mean,
Yeah, because you leveled up
relentlessly will. I mean, it's just with impunity. It is relentless. They can go hours straight.
I would imagine. And something tells me they never had lamb sog. Those
Never.
guys.
I mean, I don't think none of them have had Indian food ever.
Oh, 0%.
Ever.
0%.
They were just like that. That's poison.
Yeah.
That's poison. I don't eat food that smells.
Fucking curry?
Yeah.
No, not after
It has
9/11.
They have to eat odorless food, or it has to be at some point completely frozen.
Yes.
You know, they actually still know how to defrost things in the microwave.
Right.
For
They know
sure.
that button.
They know the exact amount of time to heat frozen food, like to seconds, down to the entire,
It's an art.
the entire, like all of it.
Yeah.
They know that it's different. Hungry Man requires this. Hot Pockets requires this. They know it all. It's impressive. It is impressive.
And they all know it goes well with a Sam Adams.
Absolutely.
Even though that's what the gays drink.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That is what the gays drink
Yeah.
in Boston.
Sam Adams.
Absolutely.
What do I have here? Parents' arranged marriage?
My parents they actually met each other, but only twice. Probably for a total of 6 hours.
And that's like, for an Indian arranged marriage.
That's like a long-term relationship.
Right. That's
a
going
long-term-
steady.
That's like what? That's incredibly progressive. Well, you guys are hippies.
People were upset at your
Yeah.
grandparents for allowing
Well,
that.
you raised two hippies. What are you doing? What is? I mean, obviously, the guy must be gay. What is that? What's going on? Actually, in India, there's no I don't even know if they recognize that. They're just like, what do you mean gay? What is that?
Get gay? Well, don't they hold hands? Isn't that like a very comming thing for two men to hold
It
hands
is.
to show a
Pinkies.
friendship? Yeah.
Pinkies. I think they didn't have it on the books that being gay was illegal until they got colonized. Up until then,
The British brought.
the Brits brought it. The Brits.
Wow.
Yeah, it really wasn't a recognized thing, being gay. And then all of a sudden it was, and you're fucked if you do this. If you do this, and I think they must have been completely baffled. They're like, well, do what? What do you mean?
Right.
I mean, that's just Sanjay.
We hold pinkies.
I hold his pinkies. That's how I cross the street.
Right.
How am I going to get across the street? I hold Sanjay Sand. How do I do this now? If you do that, you're fucked. You understand? We're gonna reprogram you. But what do I do? And so it probably wasn't until then, and then it stayed on the books, and it's still on the books. So there's
really?
Yeah, it's still on the books. So there's certain. The gay community definitely feels like oppressed and, what am I supposed to do? Now I love Sanjay. What am I going to do?
Right. Now that. Imagine like Christopher Columbus wanted to get to India and he got to America and was like, look at these people. They don't have anything. They don't have guns. They don't have technology.
Mm-hmm.
The British went to India trying to spread the word of Christ. They got off and they're like, all the men are holding hands.
We must stop
Kill 'em.
this. We have to stop this. And they're all wearing pastels. What's going on? They're all wearing purple and orange and yellow. What is going on?
It's a nation of gays.
This is a lot of color here. What is this? The food is all orange. What we have to stop this. It needs to be gray at all times, and there can be no dentists here. We have to get rid of them all. All of them.
We have no dentist here. We have to go to a place where everyone will become a dentist.
Exactly. So, yeah, but it's still on the books, which is kind of a curious thing. And at this point, it's I don't know if it's going to change or what, but I don't know. It's tough to be in love with Sanjay now.
That's what it is.
It's what it is. I mean, we've all got our struggles.
Throw a question at me.
All right, another question here. Did you ever consider a barbed wire tattoo, and is it still in vogue on Long Island?
A barbed wire tattoo. So that's not really a Long Island type of tattoo.
It's not.
It's not. I do this every episode. I want to look at my phone, but my phone records the episode. So I have a buddy who just got a portrait of Saint Michael on his forearm, but Saint Michael is a skeleton.
Okay.
That's a Long Island tattoo.
Saint Michael.
Saint Michael. His name is Michael. He got Saint Michael on his forearm, and he's a skeleton.
Okay.
That's a Long Island tattoo. Long Island tattoos, they're aesthetically impressive, but they're trash. It's a very, I've said this
very
before.
nuanced.
It's very nuanced. I've said this on the pod before. I have a friend who has the Blink-182 logo on his calf, and it's spot on. Like, it's perfect.
Okay.
But it's the Blink-182 logo.
Yeah.
So while that is very accurate to what the actual logo is, maybe let's put pants on for a job interview. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's not have it.
Yeah,
That's a Long Island tattoo.
You don't want to lead with it.
Yes, a lot of initials on Long Island tattooed, a lot of crosses. That is a Long Island tattoo.
So what would the reaction be of a barbed wire tattoo?
People would be like, first off, if you, whatever tattoo you get, barbed wire or not, first question that will be asked, how much did it cost? That is the first question asked.
Critical question.
Right. And then if you say a present, they're like, oh, that's not enough or that's too much. Yeah, a barbed wire, they just be like, that's it? Like, it's just, they've leveled up.
That's clear level up.
Yeah.
I would have thought for sure the barbed wire tattoo was still being printed.
I don't think so, because there's not a lot
it's
of...
out of print.
I think
It's out
the
of
only
print.
place you'll find that, I think, is like the Deep South or like Brooklyn, and people got it ironically.
It's definitely, Sunbelt down south, like, it's
That's
there.
big. That's barbed wire country.
It definitely is. It definitely is. Okay, so it has expired in Long Island.
Yeah, I think the trend's expired.
Huh.
Now it's a lot of, like religious.
I gotta ask this other question.
Okay, throw it at me.
I'm
ready.
I'm not gonna let you go next, but I don't know. Okay, so like I'm on the verge of eating oatmeal every morning, so I don't know if I'm dating myself here.
Okay.
But is Joey Buttafuoco still a known entity on Long Island, or has it been so long, him and Amy Fisher, that it's as irrelevant as a 80s sitcom?
It's irrelevant.
It's irrelevant.
It's irrelevant on the North Shore, though, I should say. And we have to remember, North Shore is money. North Shore, a lot of Jews, a lot of Persians as you get west. But down on the South Shore, he's a saint.
He's a saint.
He's a saint, and they have carnivals. That's a big thing for the Italians. He would at least have a festival in his name at the train station parking lot.
So, pre-COVID, happy hour, South Shore, Friday, 8 p.m.
Live at 5, it's called.
Live at 5.
On the South Shore, all the towns on the South Shore, they have happy hour starting at 5. During the summer, it's called Live at 5.
Live at 5. Joey Buttafuoco's name, 20% chance is used.
Why 20% of the population will use it?
No, just 20% chance over under.
Yeah, and they might actually turn the music down and give them a moment of silence. They might actually be like, "Whoa, what? Excuse me, Joey Buttafuoco?"
So if Joey Buttafuoco comes in at Live at 5, is he paying for his drinks?
No,
He's not paying.
he's not paying for a single drink, as well as anyone else that's with him.
Wow. The
Right.
only person I could say that in Boston is Tom Brady and Adam Vinatieri. That's it.
Right? It's
That's it.
like him to the South Shore is Billy Joel on the North Shore.
All
We
right.
have Billy Joel,
All right.
and he's our king.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, he gets the special treatment, but yeah, Joey Buttafuoco.
Do you think Joey Buttafuoco knows this? That
No.
he doesn't.
Because the thing is, he's just a fucking guy. He's an every guy.
He doesn't know the power that he wields.
Because the thing is, he looks like everyone else. So you don't even know he's there.
But he doesn't pay for his drinks at Live at 5.
If someone recognizes him, no.
They'll be
But
like-
he could be, especially with the mask now, no one knows.
Got it. Do you think people would take selfies with him?
A million percent.
Okay.
And those selfies would be taken either too close or at the wrong angle. Yes, correct.
All right. I respect that.
But you also, I'll go back to your, in the beginning, you did age yourself with that.
I did. I mean, he was a big deal when I was eating cereal. And
Pre-COVID.
Yeah, and cereal mattered back then, and I would get pissed if there wasn't the right cereal, and my parents would be like, you know what? There's no fucking cereal in India. Eat what the fuck we give you.
Right.
But back then, Joey Buttafuoco was somebody.
Yeah, the South Shore now, I don't know who you would say the king of the South Shore is. Maybe like Jersey Shore people, but even then, those aren't real Long Islanders. We don't really care about them.
They're
Jimmy
not.
Buffett, honestly.
Really?
Jimmy Buffett is the patron saint of the South Shore of Long Island.
Does he routinely come back?
Oh, you don't know?
No. I don't know.
Have you been to the Jones Beach Amphitheater?
I have.
Okay. The biggest event of the Jones Beach Amphitheater annually is the Jimmy Buffett concert.
Okay.
Now, this is a people, Muslims have Mecca, trash has the Jimmy Buffett concert
Got it.
at the Jones Beach Amphitheater. Starting a week before, people come in their RVs and start camping out.
A week?
A week. I went once. I tried to get there at 6 a.m. and I had to wait 4 hours to get in. I'm not making this up.
And he does one night?
He does one concert, one night at Jones Beach. And
Wow.
people will make the pilgrimage. I will use the word pilgrimage to Jones Beach. And here's the thing, Mehul. No one goes to the concert.
No one goes to the concert.
No one goes to the concert.
So he's performing in front of a slightly empty situation.
I would say 70% capacity. He did sell it out, though.
Wow.
Because people can't make it in.
No, you're right. If they're there for a week ahead of time,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you're finished by the third day. I mean, I think you would have forgotten that there's a concert in 4 days later,
Right.
right? So based on what you said earlier, Jimmy Buffett is going to eventually come back.
He'll come back, August, whatever. We'll have to look it up.
know.
This is the first year he didn't come back because of COVID.
No, but he will eventually come back to Long Island and die.
He has a house in the Hamptons.
Okay, so he's coming back.
Yeah, so he will, but he's not from Long Island.
Oh,
we
he's
have to
not.
make that, no.
Okay.
He's
not
just the
from-
patron saint of Long Island.
Patrons. Okay, they're very different. That's very different.
Right, like Columbus sailed for Spain, but Italians are still
Yeah.
like, he's our guy.
Okay. Makes
You
sense.
know what I'm saying?
Makes sense. That makes sense.
Even though he's from Italy. That
Makes
wasn't the best comparison, but you get what I'm saying
no,
with that.
totally understand.
My next question here. First of all, I'll just jump on this quick. You know how funny it would be if you had a Southie accent, correct?
I did.
You did.
I did. So when I went to college, I was 17, and I did. I just boycotted the letter R for a while. I definitely had the accent. I mean, I have cousins who look like me, who say "ba," and
Your cousins.
that are still in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts absolutely have uncorrectable accents.
Jesus, I have to meet him.
It's a bizarre thing because you will see a version of me saying, "I'm going to the bar. It's not that far, you know. I mean, I'm gonna meet up with Mickey. I'm there's no way I'm going on a bender tonight. I'm gonna have a drink. I'm gonna have a couple beers. You know, there's that one girl that comes over there. She's got really amazing hair. But, like, I don't know if she's coming back. She likes to party, but, like, she's going to just go on a bender, and I don't need to fuck with that. And, like, you know, I got to meet Marty tomorrow, and I got to meet him at Dunkin', and, you know, like, I don't know, man. I got time for this shit, dude. Like, whatever. Go fuck yourself. What? You live in New York still? You're a dick. What are you, gay? Like, why? What the fuck, dude? Like, I don't got time for this shit. You're embarrassing the whole fucking family. And I'm just like, what? I mean, you want a spelling bee, dude? Like, this is who you are. What do you mean? This is who I am. What the fuck are you talking about? Go fuck yourself. I make more money than you. Go die. Those are my customers.
Are they engineers?
I would say 50% are engineers. 50% are engineers.
I envision them because they're Indian, but they're trash. So they're probably like elevator maintenance guys. Yeah. Like it's like a good blend.
I have a cousin who's complete trash.
I love that.
Complete trash, and in his way is incredibly proud of it.
Oh.
Incredibly proud of it.
That's my favorite type of trash.
Incredibly proud of it.
Leans into it.
His whole thing is that I'm the Bernie Sanders of trash, that I am accepted by all trash.
You are.
He is.
Oh, he is.
He's like, I can go anywhere in America and people like me. And I was like, no, trashy people like you. But he's quite proud of that he can go to any carnival in America and make friends. He loves it. He loves that. He it's like his way of saying fuck everybody. He would go to NASCAR and be like, yeah, I can make friends here and you can't. That makes me better than you. At everything.
Sure.
That's who he is. That's exactly who he is.
Is his name like Anchor?
Garish.
That's fantastic.
I mean,
but he goes by Gary.
He will. It depends. If you're trash, he will let you call him Gary.
Yep.
If you're not trash, he will get upset and be like, "You don't know how to pronounce my name. You're a dick."
That's a weird type of trash to be.
It is. He's not. There's nothing normal about him.
That's fun. And now this next question I have, very trashy, but I've noticed this. Indian people don't eat cold cuts. Why?
I don't know. I mean, so like I eat cold cuts.
You eat cold cuts?
I eat cold. I grew up eating cold. I mean, I grew up going to like the deli, right? And
okay.
So I'll eat it. I don't know what. And I understand. I know. I have seen this as well.
I've never seen an Indian person at a deli. I've never seen an Indian person at the deli counter of a supermarket.
Yeah. So like
what's going on?
It is. Some of it is religious based, probably. Right. Like there's some that just don't eat meat.
Yes.
Right. So they're not gonna show up. But then there's others that I think come here and don't realize that the meat at the deli is better than the packaged meat.
Oh, so they're eating packaged Oscar Mayer shit.
They're looking at Oscar Mayer as this is a company, this is a Fortune 500 company. They must do it better than my local doofus guy that only owns one deli. How can Oscar Mayer, that's in every grocery store in the state I live in, be worse than the guy who only owns one deli?
Very interesting. That's such an Indian way of thinking of it.
I'm just going to go, this brand is obviously better. And so I'm going to go with this. This guy is a lemonade stand.
They look at it from a financial standpoint.
Absolutely. They are looking at their reach. They're like, these guys must know what they're doing. This guy over here, well, I don't know. He's just got a store that says founded in 1938, and his family's been selling, meats for 75 plus years. I don't know. I don't think I can trust this guy. But Oscar Mayer, they have a song.
They got a weenie truck.
They're on TV. I mean, how can they not be better? Yeah, they have a sign at Fenway Park.
This makes sense now.
And that's what will drive them to buy bologna or even Spam.
Really?
Because it has the brand. And so when they come here, they just don't know. And they look at that deli counter and it just seems like, that doesn't seem right. I'm going to go with the branded package.
This all makes sense now. I'm going to do a third question, not to just, because I have to ask it at this point. Indian people love Domino's. Domino's pizza.
Same.
And I guess it's the same mindset.
It's the same.
Indian people love Domino's.
It's the same. It's the brand, right?
So I never understood
They're
it.
going to look at Domino's as I traveled to North Carolina and I saw Domino's there. But they're also here, and they're also in Maine, and they're also in Florida. Domino's has to be the greatest pizza ever. They're everywhere.
I can't argue with that logic.
And
it's sound logic.
Am I going to go to Sal's? Sal's was it's just this family. I'm not going to Sal's. I'm going to Domino's.
This makes sense.
No, Domino's makes more pizza at between 11 a.m. and noon than Sal's makes in 6 months.
Right.
And so that's it. That's
makes
the
sense.
formula. It's just math.
It's just revenue at the end of the day. Who makes the most revenue?
Yeah. They make more. They have to be better. That's it. Let's go with Domino's, even though Sal's is likely going to be better. I will give my dad credit in that sense because he lived above a pizza place.
He knew.
We never got Domino's. We never got Pizza Hut. Ever. We never got chain pizza. It was always...
So you were ostracized from the Irish Southie community,
Oh, yeah.
but then the Indians wouldn't adopt you because you didn't eat Domino's.
No Domino's. No Domino's.
That's a very tough
No
place to grow up.
Domino's. No Domino's. It was tough. It was a deep-seated conflict inside.
All right. You go with your question. I'm sorry I took 3 questions
No,
there.
that's okay. Here's a question. Do you have more or less respect for the teachers that you had?
Now, I did see that you included this on your list, and you're one of the people that knows my stance on teachers. I don't respect them. There's no other profession I respect less than teacher.
This is true.
I've said this many times on stage to many people.
This has been a consistent stance.
So do I respect them more? No, because I never respected them in the first place.
So you don't respect them less then?
I definitely don't. Actually, maybe I do, because my mom and my sister are both teachers. Okay. I then went to a teacher college, and a lot of my friends are teachers. And this just cemented the fact that no one on the planet thinks their job is as hard as a teacher. No one. I had a friend teaches 8th grade English. He's like, you have no idea how hard it is to teach 8th grade English. And I said, yeah, I do. Because I did it. That's why I know how hard I did 8th grade English, then I did 5 years extra because it was that fucking easy. Do I know? Oh, my God.
All right. I had to ask that question because I have seen a lot of your material, and I had to know if it was consistent with what you were doing on the mic, which it always is. Like that I will say there's almost no daylight between Rich Happel on stage and Rich Happel off stage.
I'm just slightly more exaggerated on stage.
Slightly.
Right. Emphasis on the slightly.
I would say slightly. It's almost like italics. It's almost right. Like using italics, right? On stage, you use the italics. Off stage, there's no italics. Because, nobody can actually write in italics all day. You can't do it.
Right, but somehow I talk in italics on stage.
No, yeah.
Somehow. I don't even know.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. I think it's the way you hold the mic on stage.
Yeah, I hold it.
Yeah. And that's, to me, that's italics on stage.
Yeah. People on the Twitch said I hold it like I don't want to censor myself because I have to edit this. But
it's almost like, it's almost like a bib. It's almost like a bib. Let's put it that way. That's a politically correct way of saying it. So I think it's the way you hold the mic is why you're speaking in italics on stage.
It's what also my teachers always. I was the favorite of all my teachers. It's because I was I was a nice kid. I got good grades, but also I think it's because their trash and I was really the only trash in my school that got good grades.
Okay.
There's very little trash,
They
but
recognize that.
they recognize like this is a kid
That
who could get into where all the other kids are.
got it.
But also, like, we're both going to be shopping at Key Food. Like, I will see him at Key Food, but he's getting a 95 on the math test.
Have you ever seen some of your teachers since you've left?
Yes. Last time I saw a teacher, I was out on Long Island in Port Jefferson.
Okay.
At a bar. And it was that time where it started to turn into a nightclub. And the dinner was starting to leave. It was one of those places.
Okay.
Real class act, this place. I'm trying to think of the name, but I can't remember. And as I'm walking in,
You're starting to play Pitbull.
no, Billy Joel's always playing.
Okay.
Yeah, young or old, day or night,
It's always
Billy Joel's
It's
playing,
Billy
baby.
Joel.
I was
All right.
tickling those ivories.
Got it.
And I'm walking in, and there's this guy walking out, and I'm looking at him. I'm like, is that Mr. Fitz, my 7th grade social studies teacher? And I said, Fitz? And he looked up and he said, Apple.
All right.
I knew we'd see each other at a place like this. I said, yeah. He also went to my college, and he claims to have fallen from a 3-story floor onto a bar, like onto an actual bar. And I was like, there's not even 3 stories in that bar. It's a 2-story bar. And he's like, I fell off 3 stories.
That's
One of those guys.
That's funny.
So that's why, that's what I think of teachers there. And I would keep going, but I'm afraid people listening to this would be upset. Here's a question I have. Indian people and white people, same hair.
This is true.
Yet, I've never seen an Indian person in a barber shop. Where do you get your hair cut?
I mean, I do go to a barber
You
shop.
go to a barber shop.
I go to a barber shop.
Okay.
Well, okay. I only recently started going to a barber shop.
Yeah, let's get into
and
this.
I think COVID has pushed me to a barber shop because the places I normally go, they're all like closed, or it's just too difficult for me to deal with because I don't have much patience. I have a short fuse, and so I can't deal with going to a quote unquote hair salon anymore. I can't do it. So for a long time, I would only let women cut my hair.
Is that what Indian people are doing? Women and men are going to salons?
I don't know, but I would say I would venture at a 90% level of confidence. Yes, that is the case.
That's why your hair's always so nice.
I would say that is the case because I would say for many decades now, I refuse to allow a dude to cut my hair. I just wouldn't. And so I would literally go to only salons. But now it's too difficult. And I have found a good barber. And the truth is, I will never go back to a hair salon as long as this guy is employed.
Okay.
The first haircut I got in New York when I came here, I just moved here. I had a job on Wall Street. I needed a haircut desperately. I went to a barber.
Okay.
I went to a ghetto hood barber.
Okay.
That was all that was near me, and he made me look like I was in a Latin gang.
Well, that's what they thought you were.
And yeah, I think that I looked ridiculous.
Yeah.
I looked ridiculous.
Like a Caesar cut?
It was a Caesar
With
cut.
3 lines in your head?
I mean, it was a Caesar cut, and I have a widow's peak that they just made a square. I had a square hair.
Okay.
I had a square hair, and I had to go to work looking like this. And I went because I needed the job, and I was like, I think it was probably a solid month of ridicule at Lehman Brothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice name drop.
Solid. Yeah. They just were like, what the hell? You're a fucking loser.
Yeah.
Aren't you? Why did we hire you? Look at yourself, and then slap yourself. And then once you're done slapping yourself, take your face and smash it against the mirror because that will be an improvement.
Yeah.
It was that bad. It was an absurd haircut. And I have proof because I still have my ID. And I do look like I am El Chapo's bastard son.
I would love to see that picture.
Oh, I have it. I have proof. But point being is I think most Indian people go to a hair salon.
Okay. There was a point in my life where I thought all Indian people knew how to cut hair.
No,
and they were just going to each other.
I did try to do that in COVID. I don't have any natural skill to do that.
All right.
I look pretty bad. I actually wore a do-rag.
Really?
I did during COVID. I wore a do-rag. It was that bad. It was I
Not a hat.
No, I just went with the do-rag because
You were in North Carolina.
I was in North Carolina. I was like, fuck it. I'm just wearing this do-rag. I look ridiculous. All these people who told me to YouTube this are assholes because this is fucking impossible.
Right.
You can't cut your own hair. People who people who can, there's some other skill that you have that you should be applying this towards because I don't see how the fuck anybody can do this. It's impossible.
Right.
It's impossible.
All right. I'll take your word. How many more do you have left?
Let's see.
'Cause I got one more.
I think I have
I
one
altered
or
it.
two more. If you were arrested with no explanation, what would your friends and family assume you had done? They just know Rich Apple has been arrested.
I don't know, because kind of a spin-off of this, my grandfather got a call. I got one of those spam calls where they say, "Hey, Grandpa, it's your grandson. I'm stuck in jail in Baltimore.
Really?
I need money for you to bail me out. Can you send a wire?"
Okay.
And my grandfather said, "Richie wouldn't be in fucking Baltimore," and he hung up the phone. So that's what my family would think. My grandfather literally got a call saying I'm in prison, and he said he doesn't leave New York.
Yeah, this is that's way too far a radius.
What would I do in New York that's illegal? I hate anything that's illegal in New York. I don't smoke weed. I don't like fireworks. What would I do?
You're not into dog fighting, and so what else is there?
Is that illegal?
I think it is. I think dog fighting is actually illegal. I do. I think Michael Vick put that on the books. I think it's illegal.
I'm gonna have to double check that. But I guess the only thing I would do that's illegal is use manufactured mozzarella instead of fresh mutz. I think that's illegal in New York.
So they would, So they would just basically deny the premise. They'd be
like,
no.
well,
They're like, no, he's not. That's not gonna happen.
Not me.
All right, that's good. That's a good thing.
Right. I was never a troublemaker.
Okay.
So I'm not like a guy that the very few times I got kicked out of a bar for falling asleep, being too drunk, I was always like, "You're right."
All right.
I'm one of those guys.
You leave a tip.
Right. And I'm like, you know what? I'm sorry for. I will leave. I should have left.
Yeah. Thank you for pointing.
Thank you for doing your job, and thank you very much. I'm one of those guys that's like, I hear you.
Okay, so that's
I'll get outta
probably
here.
why they thought the teachers were like, this guy could get out of this. He could make it. He could make it.
Right. And also, I was fat, and they were like, this is just a fun kid. Let's keep this kid around.
Got it. I don't know if let's see. Do I have?
I have one last question, but if you have a question, you finish it off strong.
All right. Do I have another one?
If you don't, we can finish it off on mine.
That's it. That's all I got.
That's all you had?
That's all I had.
All right. And now the last question I have, I don't know why I'm looking because I didn't write it down. I'm subbing it in for my last question I sent you. Now, this is the $1 million question. This is the question all white people have.
Okay.
Who grew up in the Northeast in a suburb.
Okay.
Here's the question.
A lot of pressure.
Early morning or late at night,
Okay.
Indian couples love to walk with their hands behind their back. Why?
It's true.
It's 100% true.
It's true. And it's more predominant the older they get.
1,000%.
Right? There's just something that happens where generally it's the guy, the husband, who starts to do this.
Yes, he's the first one. But the wife does follow suit.
Yeah. Eventually, yes, they follow suit. And I have to say, I literally have noticed this with my dad. Probably he's in his mid 70s, his late 50s. He started doing this. He started the hands behind the back. I never really saw it when I was younger, but once we left the house, he started doing it. And my theory is,
Okay.
this is my theory, it's once they become empty nesters that they start doing this. And it's this.
But what's the reason?
I think I don't know what the reason is. I think symbolically what it represents is kind of this looking at their life, right? It's almost like a philosophical thing, like, I'm done. I'm not doing any more. Once you see particularly Indian men doing that, that means they've checked out. They ain't doing shit at this point.
Yes.
If you ask my dad to do anything at this point,
He's done.
He's like, what do you mean? I'm done. Yeah, but Dad, like, no. You don't seem to understand. I've put in my time. I'm done. I punched out. I am not at all obligated to do shit for anybody anymore. That's what it symbolizes to me. That they're just done. They're just like, no. This is when they become not cheap anymore. My parents.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Yeah, this is once my dad's hands started going behind his back like that, particularly when they go for a walk even. I was like, okay, now my dad's not a cheap fuck anymore. He will pay somebody to mow the lawn instead of just having another child to do it. He will pay somebody to take out the trash. He will pay somebody to come fix the toilet that's broken. There is no more manual labor. If you see an Indian man doing that, that means they're done with doing manual labor. They're done. I'm not doing that anymore. I don't give a shit. I'm out. Whatever. I'm completely out of this. And I think that's why Indian women take longer. They take longer. They're still in it. They're still like, no, I like being active and feeling productive. But then eventually they're like, fuck it. I'm not doing this shit either. He's not doing anything. I'm not doing it. You know what? I'm done cooking.
Good.
We're going to order. We're going to order curry. We're going to order samosas. We're going to do that now. I'm not doing it.
Good for them.
So I think that's what it symbolizes. It's like, man, I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm just going to pay somebody to do this now.
Interesting.
And it doesn't matter how much money they have. They're just kind of like, fuck it. I'm done. I don't give a shit anymore.
All right.
My dad used to only buy cars without air conditioning.
Really?
Yes.
That's a very Indian dad move.
Yes, because it was obviously a cheaper car.
Right.
And now he can't sit in a room that feels like, he's like, I'm suffocating. What's going on? Somebody turn on the air conditioner. I'm like, Dad, it's like completely climate controlled. I can't even breathe. What is this? What is this? Why don't you have this in here? That's what happens. So when you start to see the hands behind, they also, if they have grandchildren, that's when they've decided that they're going to lie about how they were as parents, and they're just going to spoil the grandkids.
There we go.
That's the other thing that it symbolizes, is that I'm just going to Donald Trump this. I'm going to tell everybody I was the most empathetic, lenient, progressive parent.
It's story time.
Ever. And they will lie. They will lie.
Interesting.
They will lie. So that's what the hands behind the back symbols. It's a timeline thing. It's a timeline thing. They basically are like, I'm done. I'm out. I'm not doing this shit anymore.
Interesting.
If I die broke, I don't care. But I'm not mowing my own lawn.
Because when you do a master's of science, you have to do a dissertation.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to present your thesis, and then you have to do the study if the thesis is approved. So when I first gave a thesis, I said I would like to study why older Indian couples put their hands behind their back while they walk late at night or early in the morning. And they said, that's not acceptable.
It's not an acceptable thesis.
I was like, racist? They're like, no, we'll never know the answer.
Oh, it's when they're out of fucks to give.
That's why.
That's basically what it comes down to. I had some fucks to give. I'm out now. I don't have any more to give.
I'm just going to hold my wrist
Yeah.
and go for a stroll with my gold watch.
That's it. That's what happens. No more fucks to give.
Interesting. All right. Yeah, so that's everything from me.
All right. That's all I got, too.
Mehul, where can the people find you?
They can find me at Mehul Patel, NYC on Instagram.
Yep.
Same handle on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully when the lights come back on, one of my favorite things to do is produce shows, live shows, and, they'll be posted on Instagram one day. That will return.
At nice hotels or bars on Stone Street.
Yes, nice hotels on I-95.
That's right.
Those people are all related to me.
We have a few people that live on I-95 that listen to this. I'll show you the fucking map of people who listen. All right, team. Thank you, Mehul. And nice pants.
Look,
Maroon pants.
These pants I used to go to hair salons in.
You're not helping yourself. All right. Adios.